the queer identity so I grew up in two churches, both in Carrollton, not both in Carrollton. One was called Covenant Church, and in Carrollton, and I went there 14 years, grew up there. Very, very multicultural in a way that I celebrate so much now and realize was so rare. And then recently I just left a church called Create Church in Richardson, which is also multicultural. It was like a product of that Covenant Church, which both evangelical in the non-denominational way, right? Not too radical, not too cold, but in the same sense that being gay and being Christian, I think in the evangelical circle, are two separate identities that if like I can be, you've seen how I dress. It's not it's not feminine, and so I've dressed like that my entire life, and it is very easy to see that I can dress this way as long as I don't profess being a part of the queer community. It would be a light switch in the sense that as soon as like you say something, like friends are like, oh yeah, but you're handling that. But other people will still talk about the queer community as if it's just like a problem that needs a solution, and the church is the solution. And I do believe that the church is the solution, but it's not. There's no need for a cure here. Instead, there needs to be reconciliation between our theologies about this. And so the grief, I think, comes from that the Christian, the more traditional conservative Christian, sees being gay as just any other sin that needs to be kind of eradicated, and that we as creations of God can't possibly exist in sin. And so it's like a separate identity. So I would rationalize that the church doesn't even view it as intersectionality. It's more or less, this is a point in your life that you can move through, and it doesn't compose, it doesn't like construct who you are as a created being in Christ.